Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, September 15th. EuroBasket just wrapped up. The offseason is coming to a close, and we're still here. How you doing, Sam?
Oh boy, I'm tired. Tired of nothing. We're almost there. Today's show, we have the latest on Al Horford, which continues to just be nothing. EuroBasket came to a close as Jack Mitch. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll do your emails. We'll go around the NBA, discuss some of the latest buzz about Ballmer, about the Warriors, and so on. Then we'll do the rat list and get out of here. Should be a fun show for you. Stick around through all of it. We are here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the one after each game. And other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. But yes, without further ado, more Al Horford nothingness updates are coming, which, I mean, isn't to the fault of the reporting.
No, so Shams Charania put out a new update on the Jonathan Kuminga situation, which at this point we all kind of know is the one thing that is holding up the Al Horford signing and the rest of the Warrior signings in general. They only have, I think, 10 or 11 guys on the roster, maybe even less than that right now. And so 9, exactly. So they've got a lot of work to do, but it's all hinging and waiting on the Jonathan Kuminga situation to resolve itself. So, like I said, Shams did put out a little bit of an update on the story, on the stalemate, on everything going on. And in that was a little bit of an Al Horford tidbit. Shams wrote, they've lined up all the other roster targets to pursue after the Kuminga domino falls. The Warriors have planned to at least use their taxpayer bid level. Horford is the target. So it seems like, as we've speculated and spoken about all summer, Horford to the Warriors is as good as done. It's just a matter of what is going to happen to Jonathan Kuminga. Are they going to trade him? Are they going to finally come to an agreement on a contract? I saw some rumblings last week that the Bulls were interested, but it could be more of a, they could line themselves up to have cap space next summer. And if Jonathan Kuminga takes the qualifying offer, that would really screw the Warriors because they would just get nothing back in return. But at the same time, that's, he's kind of just privy to do so if he so chooses, like Cam Thomas did. So it's kind of a waiting game with Golden State right now in regard to Horford and D'Anthony Melton, who is also projected to sign, and Gary Payton II, who is also projected to sign. So we're just kind of sitting around waiting for those things to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is we haven't been in the dark about this. Like, Brad Stevens came out and talked to you guys back in July and was like, yeah, he's not coming back. Blatantly was like, it's not happening. Like, we tried, we don't have the money. They don't have the situation to offer him right now with the state of the team. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense for him to have came back to the Celtics. So, like, can you imagine a world where we're sitting here mid-September and we're like, what's going on with this? Is he coming back? Is he not coming back? And it's really just because Jonathan Kuminga hasn't signed his qualifying offer or rookie extension just yet. And, like, do you want to do the rest of the Kuminga stuff now, or you want to do it later?
Sure, bring it up. Why not?
So, like, this whole dispute is just so strange because it has completely boiled down to money, according to the report today. Like, everything else we've heard about this or speculated about this, it is just money. It has nothing to do with whatever beef he doesn't have or has with Steve Kerr. It has nothing to do with the playing time. Literally, part of the report reads, the messaging from Kerr and the Warriors is that Kuminga would have a substantial role to open next season. Like, sure, could that be just lip service? Absolutely, it could.
I think they said that last summer too, is the reason I'm laughing.
Sure, I think maybe they do. Maybe they just say it to him every year. I don't know. I'm not on the Warriors beat as much. But Kuminga is looking for $30 million a year. I think the report says they upped it to 3 years, 74.3 with a team option in year 3 compared to roughly the same annual value for 2 years. He's going to get a significant paycheck, a probably fair paycheck for what he's given them in his, 4 seasons as a pro now in Golden State. Like, look around the league. Look at the type of deals that are being given out. Yes, he's a young player who hasn't gotten the big payday yet. But the reality of the NBA right now is teams are going to start cheaping out. The average value of the role player contracts is going to drop because of the CBA and the second apron. Golden State is definitely not going to be eager to open a big checkbook for Jonathan Kuminga, which, like, you laughed at me saying he might have a real role with them this year because apparently they just tell him that every year. And they don't really care if he's on the team or not. They just hope to get value back for him. And apparently they've been shutting down multiple sign-in trades to get rid of him. Phoenix offered them Royce O'Neal and picks, according to this report. And Sacramento offered them Malik Monk and picks. Are those tremendous offers? Not really. Those picks were going to be seconds, just to clarify, like just adjacent second-round picks, whatever it takes to get the deal done. But this has been a long stalemate. And I mean, I guess he could just take the qualifying offer and call it a day and really like screw him over.
Yeah.
What, 2-3 weeks till training camp here? It's time to step on the gas.
I think the problem here is it's money because the Warriors don't want to pay him because in their minds they're like, well, you haven't shown us anything. And in Kuminga's mind, it's, well, you haven't given me the chance to show you what I can do adequately. Like, you've allowed me to play this role where I'm not playing in the way that I'm most comfortable because, I mean, I think it might have been Kevin O'Connor who wrote it or spoke about it or something, but it's like Steph Curry is a generational player. But if you are on Steph Curry's team, and rightfully so, you play however works best for Steph Curry. And that's not like an easy thing necessarily. It's just like setting off ball screens constantly. It is running around so he can get open and prioritizing him. And again, absolutely, that is what the Warriors should be doing. 1,000%. This is not me saying like, oh, they've killed him because of Steph. Steph Curry's a top 10 player of all time, borderline. Like, duh, of course you do that. But if you're Jonathan Kuminga, a young guy who thinks, I haven't gotten the adequate chance to show what I can do as a, scorer and a slasher and a primary ball handler and creator in this league, I can understand why you're a bit frustrated. And there's this now imbalance of, one, the Warriors don't want to pay him a lot of money because they have a bunch of money committed. Two, Jonathan Kuminga wants that payday because, like you said, he's young, hasn't gotten paid yet, and doesn't feel like he's been given the chance to show what he believes he can bring to an NBA team. And three, it's the dichotomy of why should teams give up a lot for a guy that hasn't shown too much in the league versus the Warriors wanting a lot because they believe this guy can be good. But then if you believe he can be good and you want all this money, why aren't you playing him? It's a big mess. And I get why it's gotten to this point. I don't know what the solution is. Because if Jonathan Kuminga does sign the qualifying offer, I believe that comes with a no trade clause. So it's not like the Warriors could just dump him at the deadline for whatever. He would then have a say over wherever he would like to go. But this is the reason Al Horford hasn't signed with the Warriors. Like I mentioned, Anthony Melton, Gary Payton Jr., even Richard, the guy they drafted out of Florida, hasn't signed yet, and they're looking to sign some other guys. It's a whole mess, and it all comes down to the Jonathan Kuminga's contract situation, which, like you said, should kind of has to be done in the next month.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it should be done this week. They have. It
feels like it should have been done
2
months ago. Like it feels like it should have been 2 months ago.
I won't push that far because like Josh Giddey's just got done, but like, did Cam Thomas sign? I forget. Yes,
he signed the qualifying.
So Quentin Grimes is the only other restricted guy left with Kuminga, but like, it has taken a long time for these deals to get played out and agreed on, and so I think it's understanding that it's taking a while. But in their situation, where their entire offseason is completely dependent on getting this done, it has been remarkable. Shout out to the Warriors and whatever kind of clout they have where they've gotten all these guys to just twiddle their thumbs while Jonathan Kuminga is negotiating his rookie extension or second contract, whatever you'd like to call it. Like, Horford must really want to play there. Gary Payton must really want to play there. D'Antoni must really want to play there. So good for them that they have the ability to deal with this because not every team would be so fortunate. I'm curious to see, like, they must have some multi-year plan in place where the length of this contract matters. Like, there's a reason why they are putting a team option on the back end of this. Like, as much as like the lip service from Kerr is like, we're going to play you, you're going to have a role. The negotiation and the fact that they are saying we want to be able to cut you and non-guarantee your final year of whatever length this is going to be, that's telling me that they don't believe in him. Or at least they don't believe in him for that money.
I don't know what it is. I just don't think they want to commit that much money to a guy who hasn't played a lot for them. And I mean, this always goes back to the Warriors trying to run the 2 timelines thing that failed miserably, right? Like, They had Jordan Poole, they had Moses Moody, they had Jonathan Kuminga, they had Andrew Wiggins, and like Poole and Wiggins and them were awesome that year. They won the title, and then it was sort of the 2019 Celtics situation where, well, we just played great. Why shouldn't I have a bigger role? Why shouldn't I do a little bit more? Why shouldn't I, earn this opportunity? And then it turned into a mess that next season, and then it disintegrated. And Jordan Poole went to Washington, and Andrew Wiggins got flipped for Jimmy Butler a little bit afterwards, after a couple of years of, I think, personal problems that kept him off the court, and it just kind of disintegrated this whole two timelines thing into, we're just going to keep trying to build around Steph and try to get him one more title. And now they have a really good shot at that, but they're still running into the problem of, okay, now we need to give this guy a new contract. And I don't know what the answer is. Like, I don't think taking Malik Monk and running would have been a great solution, but I do think maybe trading him is the only option at this point. Like, all the stuff coming out is, he would like to be back on a fair contract so he can play, but how much is really going to change? How much is really going to change if he resigns with the Warriors? Is he really going to play enough that to the point where he's happy after the last 2 years of not? Like, I just think he needs to move on, and I think the Warriors need to move on, and I think both of the sides need to realize that. Like, he played 24 minutes a game last year, which dipped to 23 in the playoffs in the 8 games he appeared in. It just doesn't feel like he should be going back to Golden State after the few years he's had there of up and down minutes and everything going on. Like, I don't think it makes sense for either side. I think they should prioritize veteran guys and just go, move on with their lives. But I don't know. Al Horford is still waiting to sign, and I think he'll probably be a starter, and Kuminga is going to end up just coming off the bench again anyways. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but it is what it is. We're waiting and seeing, see what Al Horford does. But before we continue, I need to tell you guys about PrizePicks, the best place to get real money sports action this football season, which is here. The Patriots got their first win of the season, and you could have gotten your action picking more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win of 2,000 or 1,000 extra cash. Drake May passing yards or opposing team quarterback interceptions. If you want to take the more on those, have some fun, root for the Pats defense. Check it out there. October baseball, I should say, is right around the corner as well. You can have some fun on PrizePicks there as well. Again, you just pick more or less on at least 2 players for your shot to win up to 1,000x your cash. Make sure to check it out on PrizePicks all season long. Sam and I do the PrizePicks every single pregame show during Celtics season, so you can check it out there. We pick more or less on player stats. PrizePicks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, and MasterCard for quick and easy deposits, but it also puts their members first. So withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when your picks hit, you can get your money as quick as 15 minutes. Check it out. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, next thing, a couple of Celtics were in EuroBasket recently. Dennis Schroder, Daniel Theis won, took home the gold with Germany, beating Turkey, I believe it was, in the final game. Apparently, Şengün got close to a very impressive run with that Turkish team and didn't get it over the hump. Schroder won tournament MVP, close game in the finals, 88-83. And yeah, Germany has just kind of been dominant on the international stage in these World Cup competitions as of late.
I don't think they lost in this
EuroBasket
tournament. I
they're
saw a post
nasty.
saying they went undefeated. So, I mean, they have a lot of talent. Obviously, Schroeder's somebody who's been a long-time NBA vet, plays really well in these settings. Theis has been a long-time guy in the NBA. Franz Wagner made first-team all-tournament with Schroeder and Luka and Şengün, and I think Giannis was the last guy. It would make sense. It is definitely exciting to see them having success. I mean, especially Theis, somebody who was here for 2 stints, really fun player, really bonded with the guys on the team. It's great to see them achieve greatness with him as a part of it. Should they bring him back? That's the big question. They need all the help they could get. Be great for the vibes.
I wouldn't hate Theis back, but I think that would have been an instead of Boucher signing, instead of next to Boucher signing.
Yeah,
but
probably right.
I don't mind it. I did see a question on Twitter. I think Noah responded to it. And it is Dennis Schroder a Hall of Famer?
He's one of those like Tony.
I think he might be.
Yeah, he just like gets in because he was a really great European figure. I think so.
He is. This is his second, international competition win. He won the World Cup a few years ago. against that pretty bad USA team. He just won this.
That's right.
Yeah, gold EuroBasket Latvia, gold FIBA World Cup 2023, bronze at EuroBasket 2022, EuroBasket MVP this year, World Cup MVP 2 years ago, all tournament team 2 years ago, all tournament team in 2022, all tournament team this year, Olympic starting 5 in 2024, like most improved player and best German player in 2013 when he played in the German league. Like, on top of having a very solid NBA career as a role player, like, he's got a real case. It's not the NBA Hall of Fame, it's Basketball Hall of Fame. I think Noah pointed it out on Twitter. I think people, might have disagreed a little bit in the comments, but I think he is. I don't think there's really an argument against it.
No, I mean, he's had a really good European career. His NBA career has not been bad. He's been on some good teams. He was good for the Pistons last year. Not to say that's like the deciding factor, but he was legitimately a good part of the Pistons team that had a big turnaround. Like in the back half of the season, he was doing a lot off the bench behind Cade. He was good in the playoffs, made some big shots in the first round series against the Knicks. It's not out of the realm of possibility that he gets recognition as one of the great international players, even though I suppose you don't really think of him when you think of that because the game has grown globally so much in the past couple decades. Like now you have Giannis, Jokic, Şengün, Embiid. Like all these guys are international superstars. But like Schroder was a little ahead of the curve. Like he was around a little bit before all those guys. So big credit to him. He definitely will get in. Like they have a special inductee each year for international play. So I feel like that's like a layup. Yes, he will be in.
For sure. For sure. All right. Emails. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hptcpod@gmail.com. That's hptcpod@gmail.com. We have 3 today. 2 from RJ, 1 from Matt. RJ says, a better trade idea. Hey, folks, listening to the Saturday morning content, and if a value trade for Simons is hard to make, does Brad swap out splash down Sam instead? First off, Hauser is desirable on several fronts. He has the most in-demand skills with his lifetime 40 plus field goal percentage from 3. He's on our team control through the 2029 season and at an AAV of a little over 11 million. And he's shown that he's not a liability on defense. Actually, with all that's going on for him, why would you trade him? Well, to date, he has not been a key playoff contributor in 57 career playoff appearances. He only scored in double figures 4 times. And those games are all blowouts. Average margin of them, 31 points. He has limited upside remaining to be developed, maybe improved rebounding. He'll be 31 at the end of his current contract. His natural position on the floor is occupied in Boston, which by the returning Jason Tatum. Finally, it's always better to trade a little too soon. Hauser is also an easier player to salary match with, and as the season progresses, teams fighting for playoff position will be looking for more shooting. The Celtics could get favorable draft pick, a youngster from this year's draft, or if Brad flexes his Jedi mind tricks, both. Different flavor of trade bait to consider. Be well, RJ. I've said this since the start. You don't trade Sam Hauser. He's too good on too valuable of a contract. You don't trade Hauser to get under the tax line when the exact type of player you need to compete for championships next to Jason Tatum is Sam Hauser. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, they don't really grow on trees, not at that money. Like we've seen teams overpay players who have similar skill sets, like the Duncan Robinson contract Miami just got off of was deemed really bad for years because he just wasn't able to compete at a high level defensively and he also wasn't super consistent shooting the 3 in a few of those seasons after he killed the Celtics in the bubble, has like this tremendous bubble run, gets paid. I think having Hauser on the team long-term is important. Like that is a role player you have on a guaranteed good contract, and it helps you build out the rest of the roster. I mean, if you're really all in on getting value back for like whatever you do to get underneath these thresholds, I suppose, like if that's your thing, but I don't know what is the return, like a first, like, and if it's a first from a team trading for Sam Hauser, they're probably doing it to cement themselves as a contender. So it's not going to be a great first. Second round picks aren't that great. Like I'd rather have him than seconds.
Yeah, there's no point to me. I just think Sam Hauser is too good. And as far as the career playoff appearances, like I do think part of this is he just got pushed out of the playoff rotation because the Celtics had such a stacked roster at times. Last year was a little bit inconsistent. He didn't play that well. I think last year in general was a little bit off because of the back, and maybe you see what that looks like going into the season. Yeah, he only appeared in 8 playoff games last year, 33% from 3. Not great for sure. But I do think there comes to a point where like the regular season's a bit underrated. I think at this point, I think Celtics fans just kind of disregard it because the Celtics have been so good for so long that it's like, oh, just get to the playoffs and go from there. Unfortunately, that's not really the case anymore, especially this season, right? Like, it's not just get to the playoffs and go from there. Like, Jason Tatum's going to come back and you should be a playoff team, yes, but it's no longer to be, we're just going to have home court advantage. We're just going to be out of the play and we're just going to have a top 2 seed in the East. We're just going to be the number 1 seed. It's fine. Like, the regular season is a grueling 82-game season, and with Drew Holiday, Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, Luke Cornett all gone, not coming back, you need guys who can play in the regular season too. So I don't think you trade Sam Hauser. I just think he's too important to everything the Celtics are trying to accomplish for the next few years at a phenomenal price, one of the best contracts in the NBA. So
just a bad long-term play to do that.
Yeah, I just don't think it makes sense. Okay, trades. Matt Souza says, I might babble a little bit in this because I'm not sure how to explain myself, but I'm curious if it would be possible to completely move off Simon's contract by the end of the year. Like, get us under the tax by around $10 million, then we could pull off a play from Brooklyn's playbook and take players into cap space in the offseason for a first-round pick. I don't know if it's possible, but if I was Brad, I'd be trying my ass off. I think they have tried. I think they did try to get off Simon's contract, Matt, unfortunately. And it didn't work. And at this point, I think you just kind of roll with him and utilize his shooting, and I think he's going to be a very talented player off the bench. I've seen so many comments like nobody wants to trade him more than Jack. I'm literally just like reading reports. Like I'm just telling you what everyone else has been saying. I'm not like saying fuck this guy, get him off the team. I'm just reading to you the news. But I think they did try to trade him, and it didn't work because his contract's so large. And maybe they will try by the deadline. But at this point, I think it's just run him off the bench or in the starting lineup, depending on what you feel about Pritchard, and go from there. And I think it'll be a good offensive fit. So
I don't really know, like, if you're the Celtics, are you in position to take back contracts? Like, even if like you clear the space, right? Like, aren't you kind of in the space where you want to be getting real, making the most of your money type players rather than doing teams favor to stockpile draft picks? Like, I don't know. Maybe like this would have been the year for it if you could do it. Well, the point of this email from Matt is like the reason for trading Simons would not just be to get underneath the tax, but like you have cap space when the summer rolls around, so you can like essentially bargain with teams to be like, we'll take your Michael Porter Jr. contract for this pick. And I don't really know if they would have like the right roster to be doing that. Like they have a responsibility to try and compete next year.
Agree. Yeah, no, I don't think they should be trying to do that next year. Like the Nets aren't going to compete for a title this year, so why not? But it doesn't really make sense for the Celtics to do that with Tatum healthy. That's a good point. Last email question for Media Day. RJ says, afternoon, folks. Here's a question for Nimi or Brad. Media Day free of charge. The Celtics have a plan to invite the Portuguese national team to Boston during the preseason or regular season to study with Joe, or just to be recognized for their solid play in EuroBasket. Be well, RJ. I doubt it, but who knows? Joe's done weirder things, I suppose. I don't know.
I mean, you know what I will say? This like jog my memory. This man Joe has just been everywhere in the summer. He's just hanging out with all his players. Went to Utah State with Nimi for like a speaking event. Visited Derek White out in Colorado. Like, I don't really know how common this stuff is in the NBA. It might be super common. It might not be common at all. Mazzulla has incredible people skills with his guys. Like, he really cares about his play. Like, does he not though? Like, he really does. Like, these guys love him.
I just laughed that you had to clarify his guys.
Yeah, he doesn't really, he's not going to come see us. He's not going to do the show with us. But he like will ride or die for his players, and they feel the same way.
Definitely. No, I mean, he is a very player-first coach. I think that's one of the reasons Brad brought him on board in the first place. And like you said, he's been very active. I mean, he was active every summer he's been here. So good for Joe. All right. NBA. One thing we got here is owners around the NBA would like the league to punish the Clippers. This is from Mark Stein. who said, I've spoken to multiple team strategists, for example, who told me with chest puff that if the Clippers aren't docked to multiple first-round picks, if Leonard's contract isn't voided while his salary obligations remain in the Clippers' books, they will be emboldened to seek out their own version of shell companies to provide additional compensation to their players. Basically, if the league doesn't do shit about the Leonard situation, every team in the NBA is going to be cheating. If you let them cheat, we're going to cheat too. Deal with it. That's basically the threat.
Yeah, let's turn the NBA into college football. It's going to be awesome. Or college sports in general, I suppose, not just football. Let all the owners circumvent the salary cap. It would be funny, like, seeing them try to out-cheat each other out of spite. That would be, like, a fun era to cover the league in. We would hear about what if we convince them to invest into How About Them Celtics as a, like, aspiration type company?
No.
We would do it.
Absolutely not.
Bill Chisholm, if you're listening, we'll take like 2% of the investment as capital, and that's fine.
I don't know what you want me to say, man.
We could retire.
No.
Help good players stay on the team. I mean, we would be heroes.
I've talked about this a lot. Like, I don't really know what the correct punishment is for the Clippers. Like, how, like, Adam Silver said it during a recent one of his little press conferences. Like, the burden is on, like, it's burden of proof. Like, we have to have sufficient evidence to prove that all of this happened, like, the way it did happen. I mean, you see all the speculation of Kawhi Leonard didn't play X amount of games because he didn't get paid yet, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just don't know. Like, it's going to be a very interesting story to watch unfold in terms of the investigation, in terms of whether or not it actually happened, the truth of it all, if they can prove it. And then from there, like, Mark Stein is pointing out from the owner's statements, like, what's the punishment going to be? How severely are the Clippers going to get punished for cheating? I guess is circumventing the salary cap, like breaking the rules, like this severely. I don't know what the answer is.
I can't wait for it to be a fine. We're just like
it can't be a fine.
It can't be.
It just can't. Yeah,
they would be killed if, like, the league would get killed if it was just a fine. Like, can't do it.
It defeats the purpose, because the whole thing is we're willing to pay extra just illegally. So, like, of course they just pay the fucking fine. Like,
it would be hilarious if it was a fine. With this, like, they do have to punish them. Like, I say it every time we talk about this. I just watched my favorite team get torn apart because of the salary cap and the second apron. Like, you got to punish them. The owners have every right to be pissed if this does not get a severe punishment. I will say, with all of this, Pablo Torre has just leaned. He has to. He's leaned all the way in. Every day he's got a new update. Like, he's done a really good job.
Just reporting, yeah.
Usually, like, in this situation, like, I'm so used to somebody getting spotlight like this for things that shouldn't get spotlight, and then they milk it. So every time he has a new update in my head, I'm like, this guy's just fucking milking it. Like, all right, we get the point, but he's really doing a good job.
He's just a
sharing
reporter.
The story and reporting what's actually happening. And he's probably just getting so many more tips now that, like, it's out there. People are like, oh yeah, like, this is definitely a thing. So it's much easier for him to get more information on it. I would love to see, like, him sit down with Ballmer. That was one of the things. He was, like, killing Ballmer because he went on ESPN instead of, like, going to the actual source that accused him of doing this.
He wanted somebody that would.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he wanted softballs. Like, he
exactly. He wanted to control it. I get it, but I just don't know what's gonna happen, man. Like, this is bad. This is really bad for the Clippers, no matter what way you spin it. All right. I think that's it for NBA section. So we can just go to the rat list here, I guess. What do you got?
Rat list is ESPN. ESPN, I just saw this morning, is developing yet another documentary about the 2004 Red Sox. I am a fan of that team. I think it's a great story. There have been 2 documentaries now. ESPN did the first one. They did a 30 for 30 on it. And then Netflix did one a year ago. How many times can you tell the story? What, you're not telling it from the Yankees perspective. If you're doing that, maybe it would be a different angle. You're literally going to interview all of the same players. They're going to sit down. They're going to tell you the same story. And then it's going to be the same exact documentary. I do not understand what the point of this is. Are they mad that Netflix did a better job than their first 30 for 30? And so they're going to be like, watch this. We're actually going to one-up you. And they're going to keep going back and forth on who can make the better documentary. What is the point?
Yeah, I don't really know. It's cool. Like, I mean, I love that team, obviously, but it just doesn't really feel.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah,
Cool.
it just doesn't. It doesn't really feel like it's a necessary story to tell anymore. At least unless you're going to tell it from a new perspective, which maybe there is just some new information or new like slant that this angle is going to have that I don't know about, but it sounds like it's just going to be the same type of thing. I don't know.
So this is a part of the description here. Featuring appearances and commentary from Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Katie Nolan, Bill Burr, Donnie Wahlberg, Uzo Aduba, Sam J, Maria Menounos, Doris Kearns Goodwin, Neil deGrasse Tyson, along with members of the 2004 Red Sox roster, including Johnny Damon, Curt Schilling, interesting, David Ortiz, Kevin Millar, and Bronson Arroyo. Believers chronicles how enduring faith, a remarkable group of players, and a city ready for change came together to break one of the notorious curses in sports. The series follows Boston's improbable 2004 postseason run through the lens of the franchise's complex history and the city's passionate culture, capturing the defining moments when belief and extraordinary talent finally rewarded them, and so on. So it sounds very similar to everything we've seen before, but they got celebrities to do it.
Yeah, this is just the same thing. This is just the same shit over again. Like, it doesn't really make any sense to me. What do I have to rat list? I went golfing yesterday. I'm trying to think if there's any like rat list worthy moments or things. It was fun. I had a good time. I went with my brother, my dad, my uncle. We played okay. We shot like 3 under as a scramble, which isn't great, but it wasn't. We weren't too upset with it. I had 2 birdies, like myself, which was nice.
Whoa!
The winning team was like 15 under. Like, they just had like really good player. It was whatever. But it was fun. It was just like a fun like a work event thing for my dad's work.
Well, that's fun though. You guys all got to go with him and everything.
No, it was fun. It was a good day. I'm just trying to think if there were any rat list worthy moments. Oh yeah, so we get to the turn, right? And this is like after the 9th hole, you go and you get a hot dog, then you go to the 10th hole, right? You just get like some lunch or whatever. And we go in there, and it is self-service hot dogs. So it's just like hot dogs in like this little 7-Eleven type thing. So I'm like, yeah.
Rotating thing.
I was like, all right, I'll like get one. And I look around, and I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to pay for this? We go up to the bar, and she's like, nah, not me. I was like, what do you mean? And my dad, I left. I went to the card, like, whatever. My dad and Henry stayed to pay. And apparently there was like a specific stand or like a lady whose job it is to like be over by the table with the self-service hot dogs and the fridge of like little sandwiches and stuff. And she's just also a waitress. So she was just walking around. And so they just stood there, like, not knowing how to pay for like 5 minutes, like waiting, like, just like, hello, like, what, how is this supposed to work? It was just a very chaotic, like, stupid way to do things in terms of like paying for food and everything. But
I mean, I've been a long proponent of if it's difficult, you cannot make it hard for people to give you money if they have to pay.
I agree. It was very confusing. I didn't like it.
Man, what happened? Oh, I have to. I have to do another fucking video game rat list. I hate doing it because it feels very redundant and lame. The 2K game is broken this year. Have you played much of it?
A little bit, very little bit.
So the thing that people do this year is they make the tallest possible center, and the defense is broken. So because the 7'4" center is taller than mostly everybody, then they use a jump shot that like they jump 3 feet in the air. It's very difficult to get any kind of contest on the shot.
So should I just make one of those?
Wide open. Yeah,
so
just literally Go on YouTube right now and look up like 2K26 center build, and it'll be 7
I made a
foot
guy.
4.
I made a guy like 7'2", so I'm a little too short, I guess.
Literally, just you can have with a defensive minded build with defensive badges. For those of you that don't know, it's like badges are like skill traits that your player has, and like the badges can be at like 5 different levels. So you can literally have the top level of defensive badges at like 6'7", and it does not matter. It makes no difference. You could be right. You literally have to jump, and even then, maybe it won't work out for you.
Interesting. Yeah, that sucks.
Just get ready to boil your blood. If you ever like venture out into the online player,
we'll see
community.
We'll see if I get there. I don't know, what else do I have? I don't really have much else to rat list. I think that's all I have. Unfortunately, I don't think I have much else to complain about. I had to play Brandon Aubrey in fantasy, and he had like 25 points, so that kind of sucked. The Cowboys kicker just had like a huge day, and
did he make one from fun, like the other side of the field?
Yeah, he made like a 60. He made like a 60-yarder. Yeah. I will say though, I've explained this on the show before. I'm in like a dynasty league. I joined late. I had to pick from free agents. Blah blah blah. Wan'Dale Robinson, who's on the Giants, has had a good year so far. Right, he's had like 18 targets through the first 2 weeks, 14 receptions, 55 yards the first week, 142 the next week, and a touchdown. He's been good. He's 24. His story arc is he was drafted back in 2022 when they started the league. I traded for him last September, and I traded DeMarcus Robinson, Alexander Mattison, and Justin Hill for him, DeAndre Swift, and Dak Prescott. I scammed. Then I traded him again for a first-round pick because I was like, I'll take a first, and Wan'Dale Robinson's fine, but take the first. He was then dropped this year in August, picked up in August, dropped again, and now he's just back on my team and playing great because I just picked him up in free agency. So I basically got a free first-round pick, then got him back before the start of this season.
Why do more NBA teams not do this?
What do you mean?
Trade the guy. Like the Celtics should have did this with Springer. Can't believe they didn't do it. Still waiting for them to do it, even though he's on the Pelicans for a training camp too.
Well, most NBA teams I don't think are as dumb as some of the people in my fantasy league, unfortunately.
You'd be surprised.
It's the issue, I think.
We all
yeah, that's all I got today. That's all I got today. I've got nothing else.
Speaking of football, Florida is the ratless team for the college season. We're out on Florida. We're all the way out. We'll not be taking any more wagers on Florida. 2 weeks in a row, they've just been dreadful. Their quarterback is meant to be this. He was a 5-star prospect, supposed to be the next big guy. Threw 5 picks against LSU. Terrible. Poor Florida defense. Forced 3 and outs in the fourth quarter when they're trying to come back. Just immediately throwing interceptions. It was one of the most. Florida football is in a brutal space. I'm glad, like, I'm not like a supporter of the team, actually. Like, I just kind of support them if we decided to support them that day. But it is brutal times for the Gators. Poor Al Horford.
Poor Al Horford, indeed. I've been employing a new betting strategy, which is I wait for the game to get down to like the fourth quarter. And usually it depends on the game, right? This isn't every game. This is all the games that it fits. But like last night, it was Falcons Vikings, right? And you see the team marching, and if it looks like they're going to score a touchdown, I just put like $10 on like 3 different guys to score anytime touchdown, because at that point in the game, the odds are like plus 1,500, plus 2,000 or whatever, because there's only like 1 drive left. But if I just pick the top 3-4 guys, one of them is going to score and it's going to win me money. And it's worked like 2 games in a row for me. So like last Thursday was Commanders Vikings, and Packers Commanders, my bad. And the Packers were storming down the field, and Tucker Kraft was having a big day. So I put some on him, Matthew Gold, and I put some on him, and then I put some on like one of their other receivers, and it was like plus 1,500, plus 1,100, plus 1,100. So I bet $30, but then Tucker Kraft got the touchdown. So I won 110 or 150 or whatever it was. It was like, okay, that's fine. And I did the same thing with the Commanders because they were, they got to like the 30-yard line. It was their last drive. I'm like, all right, Debo, McLaurin, and Eckler got hurt. So Merritt, their running back. Debo Samuel scored and won money. Did it last night with the Falcons. They were driving. Bijan was off the field. Tyler Algier had like 3 20-yard runs. So I put 10 on him at plus 2,000. I put some on Kyle Pitts at 1,500, and Algier got in the end zone. Like, it's worked, and I'm hoping it can keep working because it's making me money.
We love a winning strategy. I'm glad
I'm
it's
enjoying it
money.
so far. It's indeed printing.
You gotta start tweeting
money.
your plays. Be like live play, and then just tweet all the guys, like all 10 of the scorers.
Yeah,
you're putting the money down.
Would be fun. It would be.
Also, shout out to
nice.
Georgia Tech, who had a literal like pull up 3 for the win against Clemson. Did you see this?
No.
So, tie game in the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech has no timeouts. They run the ball, and then the field goal team runs out, and they have to like set up and kick the field goal. Kid drills like a career-long 50-something yard field goal to beat Clemson. It was crazy.
Clemson's just ass, aren't they?
Clemson's not good. Bad? Notre Dame not good. Florida not good. Sadly, South Carolina doesn't look like they're very good.
Tennessee's my team. They lost a heartbreaker. It was sad.
Yeah, Tennessee, that was tough. Unlucky.
UCLA.
That didn't make any sense to me either. Did you watch the Tennessee game?
No, I was golfing.
UCLA is terrible. So Tennessee, what happened was they were lining up to take their kick, or not their kick. They had the ball with like 1 timeout left. They were going to run the ball to line it up so the kick was right in the middle. They get a false start, it pushes them back 5 yards, and then they decide not to do what they were going to do, and they just take the kick from 5 yards further back instead of trying to align the kick, and the kid missed it and then went to overtime.
Interesting. Well, okay, did they have time to align the kick? Why didn't I don't?
Yeah, they had a timeout. Like they would have been fine. It was the same situation. No time came off the clock. They just got called for a false start. So they just lost themselves 5 yards.
Interesting. Was it like, it was like a little too long? Was it like 55-60, or was it like 40-30?
I think it was like 43-48, and he missed the 48.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like you should just be fine. I don't know. I guess 48's a little bit long, but
the point is, like, they were on the left hash mark, and they wanted to get it in the middle. Yeah. So he had a straight shot, and then they weren't able to run the play because they got a penalty, and then they just didn't try and do exactly what they were going to do the first time. So they just settled for the skewed kick, but further away.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
I mean, glad it's not my team.
Huh. That's all I got, though. I have nothing else. I don't know.
Yeah, we can be done. That's our football talk for the week.
All right. In that case, appreciate you for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe, and let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you're feeling with just 2 weeks till media day as we're doing this. So it's coming soon. You're going to have new quotes, new pictures of guys in uniforms. Get ready. We'll be here every day leading up to it, after it, through the season. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are the one after each game. Other videos are here in between. To keep you up to date on all things Celtics, you can find the 2 of us streaming on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there. So if you just want those, go ahead, follow. They'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.